Dear Shadow Knight Studio, I'm writing this after playing the demo to your game, The Lighthouse, currently on Kickstarter. As everything in it is still a work in progress, I can't possibly judge it as a final product. Near the midpoint of its campaign, however, the project has accumulated less than 20% of its goal, and barring a sudden massive influx of backers, it probably won't succeed. I, a person who has played dozens upon dozens of horror games over the past couple years alone, most of questionable quality, feel the urge to give you some advice, should you ever see this, if the project should continue after the Kickstarter campaign's failure or success. My aim is not to bash you, to discredit you, or to otherwise draw your ire. Feel free to take what I say with a grain of salt, as I'm not as easily scared as the people in the media section on your website, and I don't have a webcam to show how unfortunately not scared I was while playing the demo. The first thing I'd like to say is that your baseline story surrounding Irvine, the death of his daughter, and the missing persons case is fine. However, how important is Irvine's past? It doesn't feel like I'm playing as him, because when he finds things in the demo like lilies, photos of lilies, or notes from someone named Lily, or sees other strange things going on, there's absolutely no reaction from him. This speaks to a larger problem of these types of games, keeping in mind that the first-person camera isn't just a camera, but it's still a character in the world you're creating. There's no reaction of any sort to the diary pages, no reaction to finding a photo of a lily where an apparition was appearing. Every description of every examinable item in this game could be given by pretty much anybody. They feel completely detached, like they were written by a coder instead of thought by Irvine. I'd like to address the demo length and content next. It consists of 2 or 3 rooms and 1 puzzle, a puzzle which has a really easy solution involving the floor and the light. My first playthrough lasted less than 15 minutes, and one subsequent playthrough took roughly as long to finish as the demo took to load. It feels like there isn't quite enough here to give people a solid idea of what the game is going for, what it's eventually going to be. I say this as the demo contains a blue shard in the floor, which even the demo itself seems to say, I don't know, you figure it out. The atmosphere is okay. However, it's frequently broken by little things like font choice. I have an old draft of a resume which is written with this same font. Some text boxes are formatted strangely or get cut off. There are typos everywhere. Don't underestimate how much things like that can break immersion or even turn off players. And if that's just in the demo, what might a full game of this look like? Probably better, but this demo is a sales pitch, a way of convincing people to invest in the game. And when I see all of this coupled with cardboard boxes which act more like soccer balls, spinning and bouncing around the room if I bump into them, that's a turnoff. Atmosphere in thrillers and horror is like a house of cards, and when it crumbles completely, and it takes all the more work to try and build back up. The last thing I'll make note of is the same problem every scary game goes through. If something fails to scare, it usually ends up getting a laugh. And that was all I could do when I saw this. It's like watching someone pray in fast forward. The game itself can still work out. However, the horror and thriller market is heavily saturated with these types of first-person atmospheric games with a rudimentary puzzle or two mixed in. PT and the RE7 Kitchen demo, as good as they were, only served to aggravate that. Strictly going by what the demo offered, this hasn't separated itself from the pack. Unfortunately, quite the opposite. Ask what makes the game, at the most basic elements, stand out from the crowd, and put as much a focus on that for any future demos as you can, if there are any. Wishing you all the best, SCXCR.